All right, good morning. This is a special meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority. Today is May 24th. Right, today is May 24th, right? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right, May 24th, 2018. Here in Albany, are Chairman Bradley, Commissioner Ford, sitting in for Council Riano is Associate Attorney Froring, and myself, Secretary Donahue. We're here for two matters uh, requested by Council's Office for summary suspension orders. The first matter is agenda number 2018 1003B, JDS Sports Bar and Lounge, Inc.
Good morning, I'm Kayla Seeger, I'm an attorney in counsel's office. We are in fact seeking an emergency summary order suspension for the establishment known as JD's Sports Bar and Lounge based on their conduct which is adversely affecting the health, safety, and welfare of individuals in the area of the licensed premises. This investigation came about when the authority learned of an April 15th, 2018 stabbing in which an individual was stabbed in the face and head. We also learned of a 4/22/18 incident in which a fight broke out inside and staff directed patrons to exit the premises, where more fights broke out immediately outside the premises, which resulted in an individual being shot several times. The police report does indicate that there were two bouncers and two managers on the sidewalk who witnessed this incident, but according to the report, did not call 911. After that, the Wallkill Police Department sent us numerous reports regarding serious incidents occurring within the last year at the establishment. This shows a sustained pattern of disorder and that the premises was becoming a focal point for police attention. In addition to those very serious incidents, we learned that the licensee has moved to Georgia. On his license application, he indicated that he was going to be the sole manager and that he was going to devote 40 hours a week to the business. However, he ended up hiring a manager without notifying the authority of those changes, and now we have these very serious, violent incidents occurring at the establishment. SLA interviewed the manager, who told us that he's been the manager for 5 months. He's not paid, he's not on the books. He's in the process of buying the business from the licensee and is currently learning the day-to-day operations.
What's his name? You know?
Mr. Kelly. The State Liquor Authority inspected the premises on May 4th, and we found 3 containers of pre-mixed drinks. We also noticed that the only food available was bags of chips for sale, and the staff indicated that the establishment never served or even stocked the food listed on the menu. Additionally, some employees reported being paid only in cash, and the licensee's application to the authority had indicated that he was not going to hire security guards, but he did end up hiring security guards, and some of them were not licensed. The State Liquor Authority also reviewed the books and records, which confirmed that some of the security guards were not licensed, and some of the employees were not on the books. The bank records revealed instances where alcohol was bought at liquor stores, and the manager confirmed that it was bought at the liquor stores to be sold at the premises. In sum, it is respectfully submitted that the very serious and violent incidents and the complete lack of supervision demonstrates a blatant disregard for the ABCL, which is adversely affecting the health, safety, and welfare of individuals in the area of the licensed premises, and as such, an immediate order of summary suspension is necessary. Thank you.
So this place has been open since 2012 and we have no history on it?
Correct.
Yet we have, it appears now, just gotten a slew of reports of incidents since early 2017
Correct.
from the police department?
Yes.
Did anyone talk to the police department? Find out why they waited?
It just seems like in the past year or so, they've had more and more problems at this establishment, and that may or may not be related to the fact that the licensee left and now has somebody new running the place.
Because in some of these we wouldn't get a referral on, but December of 2017, a fight outside, 2 males arrested. That we should have got a referral on. someone arrived at the police station in January of this year and reported they were assaulted by security working at the premises. That we should have got a referral. I'm assuming we didn't get any referrals that you're aware of?
Correct.
Can someone contact them and remind them of their obligation to refer these incidents to us?
Certainly.
And it's a legal obligation, it's not a moral obligation. Although that would be in line as well. All right, I don't have any questions.
No, I don't either. I think it's pretty obvious this place is a danger to the public, a drain on police resources, tons of violations. I vote to summarily suspend.
I do have a question, I'm sorry. What happened to the shooting victim, do we know?
He was transferred to the hospital and
Survived though? I
believe
assume
he
we
did-
would have heard
I
if he
believe he
did.
did survive, yes.
And no calls to 911, which is also obviously an obligation that they have. No, they're using security and they shouldn't. Is a DJ permitted? Or is this part too old, it's not even on the application?
He's permitted, but he's not on the books or records.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously, and you might be right, it might coincide with the owner moving to Georgia, but it's obvious this place has gotten out of control, so before anybody else gets hurt, I'm gonna summarily suspend as well. It's a danger to the public welfare at this point.
All right, we have one other item in New York City. It's item 1003C, J&H Restaurant Associates, Inc. It's also a request for a summary suspension.
Good morning, members. Council's office is requesting that you issue an order of summary suspension as to J&H Restaurant DBA Viva. Viva is located on Sherman Avenue in Washington Heights in the 34th Precinct. This operator has a terrible history. They've amassed, their average history is $33,000 in fines as well as a 20 days suspension. So they really have failed to correct their operations. Most of those violations involved sale to minors, and I think there was one charge for maximum occupancy. So there was no violence that we were aware of at that point. Since that time, we've become aware that there have been a lot of recent violent incidents involving employees, which is particularly disturbing. It is alleged that on May 15th of 2018, a waitress assaulted a female patron with a hookah. I saw a video of the aftermath. And it's clear that patrons were very upset at this female patron, so it was clear from this video that something happened involving this employee. In addition, in connection with that incident, the police were unable to get actual video. This video that we got was from a patron who took it on their iPhone. The licensee failed to produce video, even though they were requested to produce it by the police.
Did it, having read your memo, or I don't know if it's your memo, but having read the memo, did they fail to produce it or refuse to produce it?
You know, it's not clear that the police have been getting recent excuses that there's really no explanation. They claimed, the detective I spoke to in the 3-4 precinct has been dealing with this premises for quite a while. He says they've always been able to preserve videos for 5 months, and he's never had an issue. Recently, whenever there's allegations of employees assaulting patrons, now for no reason whatsoever given, there's no data in the video covering the particular time periods that police are asking about. And this has happened several occasions with both the detectives and Police Officer Pena, who deals with a lot of these types of incidents. So, you know, I mean...
Indicating that it's been erased for that period of time.
Yes. I think that the reasonable inference from this is that this data was erased, yes.
Okay.
And so in addition to the hookah incident on March 10th, there was a large fight where patrons alleged bouncers were throwing chairs and striking them. Nobody from the premises called 911. That's also the case for the hookah incident. Nobody from the premises called 911. And in that incident involving the security guards, that's where the detective said that he was very upset, and he expressed this to the owner and to the manager, the fact that he was unable to get video. and he was there the very next morning after the incident allegedly occurred. On February 11th, there was a large fight inside the premises, which spilled out into the outside involving the security guards. The licensee failed to produce video. However, there was a video posted online, which I've seen, which shows security guards macing people, and it shows a security guard with what looks to be like a hard glove punching what I would assume are patrons directly in front of the licensed premise.
What do you mean a hard glove?
It
Like a
almost
brass knuckles?
Yeah, it's not like, I don't know if legally it's a brass knuckle. I'd have to take a closer look. It looks like, almost like a plastic, like a glove with plastic hard knuckles.
So a weapon.
Yes, it's a weapon. No question, it's a weapon. In addition to using that weapon, the security guards were using mace. After that incident, the police inspected the premise and found all sorts of safety violations, including unmounted fire extinguishers, using extension cord as permanent wiring. The premises is overcrowded. There's pre-mixing, etc. On January 14th, the police inspect and find that the premises is overcrowded. On January 10th, 2 patrons were slashed as they were leaving the licensed premises by unknown parties. On January 6th, a patron was leaving the premises when he was robbed and assaulted in a gang assault. In one of these incidents, I think on January 10th, the detective who I spoke to regarding the March 10th incident involving the bouncers told me he also investigated that incident. And in that incident, a severely intoxicated patron left the premises. I don't know, somehow he managed to cross the street, got into a dispute with another patron at a deli. After this dispute, the patron tried to cross the street again, and he was struck by a car. And the detective told me he believes the only reason he wasn't killed is because he was probably so relaxed as he was so intoxicated. But the person who struck him didn't stop and kept going, so it was a hit and run, and he said the victim was severely intoxicated. So, in addition to this, the licensee is systematically violating its method of operation. It's using DJs. It's allowing managers to manage a premise, even though the owner said he was going to directly manage the premise. It's permitting dancing. And this is generating numerous 311 calls from neighbors, which we were previously unaware of. We ordered these recently, and some examples of neighbors are external loud music. Please don't say there is nothing there. I can hear it through my noise-canceling headphones. Another call at 3:50 in the morning. Please help me. I cannot sleep with this constant loud music and bass. Music coming from this bar Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday ends at 3 to 4 a.m. There is very loud music. Extremely loud music. I can hear this through my white noise machine. Do the police actually check these complaints when they happen? So this premises is also disturbing the neighborhood through the noise it's generating.
Were there names on those complaints of people we can contact?
Yes, we got names and contact numbers for at least.
If this goes to hearing, can you make sure that at least 1 or 2 of them come in so we don't lose that charge?
Yes. So,
Okay.
based on all this, the terrible adverse history, and, these violent incidents and the lack of cooperation of the police, we're requesting that you summarily suspend this licensee.
So there were like 40 311 calls just this year alone.
Yes,
I read that correct, okay?
yes.
And they're not authorized to use promoters, are they?
It's not stated one way or the other in the method of operation, but they're not allowed to be using DJs. They claim they're just going to have live music, and they're using DJs, and they also have a DJ booth set up. And they permit
Have you looked
dancing.
at their social media pages?
I haven't personally looked, but Officer Pena has looked, and, there's a promotion being scheduled for this weekend. So they're actively promoting hookah, 2-for-1 drinks. They're promoting DJs.
So make sure that he's downloading that, I hope, or
Yes,
printing?
yes.
Okay. Are they allowed to have the hookah?
It's not stated one way or the other, but I believe that under the New York City Clean Air Act, I believe you need to have a permit to have non-tobacco hookah. So
Right.
that's something I'll have to look
I think
into.
that's correct. I wonder if they do. And did you charge police focal point, or is there not enough?
I believe I did, yes, yes, Chairman.
Okay.
And also, the commanding officer, Mundo, requested that we do this, because he says this place is just a drain on their resources.
Okay.
Yep.
And they're doing a nuisance abatement as well?
Yes, NYPD Legal commenced a nuisance abatement, I believe, about a week ago. And they, I guess the premises are not frequently shut down under the nuisance abatement law now, but they are operating under a temporary restraining order, which I guess requires them to obey our laws and the criminal law.
Were they under the restraining order when this event happened in May?
I'd have to check, Chairman.
Yeah, you
They may
said
have
you're
been. They may have been, but I don't know if I can prosecute them for violating the,
No, but if they go to court to try to get a stay of this, it would be helpful.
yes.
Okay, I'm gonna vote to summarily suspend. It's obvious that this is negatively affecting the public health, safety, and welfare on multiple levels. They've got compressed gas tanks that are unsecured, extension cords as permanent wiring, no emergency lighting, defective fire equipment, violent incidents. Their own employees are apparently using mace and other weapons to beat on customers, and they're not following their method of operation.
Commissioner Ford?
Patrons being assaulted, slashed, and robbed. And in one case, I think one of the people involved was a 20-year-old who shouldn't have been in there in the first place, right? But no 911 calls. Security guards, as the chairman said, were seen, using extremely unnecessary strong arm tactics against patrons, not to mention all the other just health code and safety violations. 43 111 calls in the past year, drain on police resources, so I vote to summarily suspend as well.
All right, I have no other matters. Chairman, you have anything else?
No.
All right, then the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.